You are coming into a season of a new name. A name speaks of identity. We see people, different ones in scripture, who received a new name. I love Isaiah 62:2. You shall be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall designate. You shall be called. This is a prophecy. This is saying, not you maybe will, but you shall be called by a new name. We see God going back and forth between calling his servant Jacob and calling him Israel. And you may be feeling like you're in this back and forth, tossed to and fro, trying hard, but then getting tossed right back to where you were, feeling like you're not even really gaining any ground, not gaining a lot of progress, wrestling with the angel of the Lord, trying your best to hold on to faith, to hold on to this confidence in what you're believing for, what you're hoping for. And I want you to know that you're actually at the right place, because the name change doesn't happen in the season where you have just thrown in the towel and you've given up. No, the name change happens when you are in between, stuck in the middle. It's too high to get over, too low to get under. So you have to go through. This name change happens when you are in between what you know in your heart to be true and the lack thereof of what you're seeing in the natural reality. But you have been wrestling all night and you have been crying in despair and you've been trying to press through this night season. But I want you to know that everything you have sown in tears, you shall reap in joy when you get your name changed. The Lord is saying, I didn't do all of this to get you out of Egypt only for you to let go right when you're at the break of day. I didn't do all of this to get you out, to pull you out only for you to give up right when you're at the break of day. I hear the scripture, be not weary in well doing. You've been doing your best. You've been doing good, because in due season, in due time, at the appointed time, you shall reap if you faint not. He's saying this is not the time to throw in the towel. He's saying you're hitting the break of day. He's saying, I've crossed the horizon to find you. I went to hell and back to get this message to you, that I know your name. I know who you really are. And you shall no longer be called that. You shall be called this, by this new name. And yeah, they may have done that to you and it crushed you. It broke your heart. And yeah, that situation may have happened to you and it crushed you and broke your heart. And this isn't about playing the victim. You know, people want to just be positive. No, in order for light to shine in the darkness, we've got to acknowledge the darkness. Okay, it's the darkness that can't comprehend the light. It's the darkness that cannot overcome the light. We have to be willing to admit the darkness there, that the light would be able to shine forth and burst forth. And so he's saying, whatever it was that stole your heart from you, whatever it was that made you into a different person, and now you act in a way that does not match who you really are. You act in a way that matches your brokenness. You act in a way that matches your pain. He's saying you act in ways that define the old you. Those ways do not define who you are. He's saying you don't have to act in those ways anymore. He's saying my ways are higher. And I'm going to define you. I'm going to give you a new name. He says you've been this way long enough. So long that you've forgotten who you are. But I remember. He's saying, I knew you before you even experienced that thing. He's saying, I knew you in the beginning before you were in your mother's womb. He's saying, I know who you are. I knew you before that thing happened to cause you to lose who you are. He's saying, I know who you are, and when you get your new name, you will remember whose you are. The Lord says, to him who overcomes, to him, to that one, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone and a new name written on the stone, which no one knows but the one who receives it. So I want you to keep wrestling. Don't let go. Not when you're this close to the daybreak. Don't let go until you receive your blessing.
Let her come to me. I have crossed the horizon to find you. I know your name. They have stolen the heart from inside you. But this does not define you. This is not who you are. You know who you are. Who you truly are.